What's up, everybody? Happy Nitro Saturday. I'm going to start this one off a little bit slower than usual. Let people have a chance to come in here. Make sure my audio is good. If you guys can hear me, let me get a hell yeah and a hallelujah. Whichever one you think you want to put out today. All right, I just got word from the Nitro Queen boss upstairs. She told me the audio is unstoppable, just like a boost port on an old OS engine. Now, let me say hello to everyone that I see here, bright and early and on time. I appreciate it, because oftentimes I got to repeat a couple things. But, guys, I want you to know I'll be happy to say things more than once. All right, hell yeah to all of us. We got John Hensley. How you doing? We got Nitro Boss Big Boys Toys in here, who possesses a new OS 21 VZR. That is top level. My good friend Mark85 is here with us. How you guys doing? Let me wait a little while. Now, you guys saw the thumbnail, which is likely why you are here in the video. And you saw the price of the engine in this buggy. $290 back in 2002. And who knows, it might have even been released maybe several years earlier. I do have a good amount of work planned for this thing. Now, I want you guys not to really focus too much on the buggy itself. I am not 100% sure if I'm going to keep the buggy as you see here, but what I want to make great again is the engine. So we're going to take a look at the engine a little bit. The body is, pretty much whack. And also not 100% sure if this is in fact an MP 7.5. It could be not an MP 7.5. What matters is I want to make sure the engine is at least savable. So we're going to get to that in just a couple minutes, guys. Let me know if you can hear me well. Hopefully the audio clipping has been reduced some. Now, let me catch you all up on what went down yesterday. Yesterday, we made a Savage great again. Now, I did do some more further testing on the Savage today, and I will be happy to confirm there are no leaks in the exhaust. So that is great. All aspects, how you doing, man? We got Ryan Bollinger here with us. He goes, more Nitro, more hell yeah. You said it, bro. Now, great observation from John Hensley. He goes, what is up with these wheel nuts? I'm glad you noticed. Darren Gage, how you doing? So Kyosho, during this time period, they were kind of doing things, to be a trendsetter, right? If Kyosho did it, other people followed. Now I actually found an old post, but at this point, I don't think I can even find it anymore. Anyways, we're going to continue. I'm not going to talk about that post anymore. It's kind of useless at this point. Anyway, the star of the show is going to be the engine. We'll take the body off in a bit over here. I'm going to just, give a chance to the viewers to come into the stream. Now, the buggy is not very good. Keep in mind, I did not pay a lot for this buggy. I'll talk a little more on the history later. The main reason I wanted it is because of the OS engine. Now, when I went, I did check the compression. The compression seems relatively good. So good that I cannot even spin it over with my finger, guys. But a little bit of a situation. Do you think I tried to fire this up yet? I'm just curious. Do you guys think I tried to fire this up? Because I'll tell you if I did or if I didn't. There's no reason to keep a secret here. They all eventually run on this channel. Now, I can't guarantee whether they run perfectly or they run better than perfectly. But it's going to be something that begins with a P. Okay? Pretty perfectly. Santis923, how you doing there, Santis? Happy to see you. Melissa, is the audio good? Audio check. Melissa, is the audio good? All right, audio check confirmed. Jason, how you doing there, Jason? By the way, guys, I might have a special little surprise in the form of another Nitro unboxing later on in the stream, depending on how things go. Now, the other unboxing is going to be a game changer in the Nitro truck history. Anybody want to take a little guess what it is? Now, this is a car that I've talked about many times. In fact, I would say 100% of the viewers here have this particular car, but we're going to take a look at it in the box regardless. In fact, Jorge, how you doing there, man? Why don't I go and show you maybe what it looks like in the box right now? While I wait for the viewers to come in, honestly, I don't want to repeat myself too many times today. You know, I had a bit of a complicated day today. So let me go walk over before the main action goes down and the boost ports start showing up. We'll talk about the wheel nuts. Yes, Kyosho said we don't need no nuts. We're going to use screws. Personally, I like this event. My dudes, our good channel member, Mon, and friend Ben is enjoying a sickening Monster Jam truck show tonight. So could we get a hell yeah to Ben? He is literally living the dream. Burning gas and nitro in the daytime and watching monster trucks at night. And that, bros, is the dream. Of course, being a positive, ethical person in the process, that matters too. So let's go over real quick, guys. And I might take it out of the box later, depending how things go. RPM Nitro, how you doing? Lucas Tolkup, how you doing? KPKP, happy to see you guys. Let me go over real quick before we get down to Kyosho business. I'm going to block this a little bit. But depending how things go, I might take this out of the box later on. Let me put the lights on. Question. Does anybody know what that is? I mean, it's pretty much obvious based on the graphics. This is not really the topic of today's show, but I figured I got nitros. That's why you guys came here. You want to see them unboxed. All aspects goes X Factor. Actually, bro, you are very good with that graphic, but this is not an X Factor. But you know what? That was a very, very good guess because those do look like XTM graphics. David Vidori, what's going on? Well, this right here is the real, true, OG, original T-Max. This is the one that started the Nitro monster truck ready to run revolution with the Pro 15. I've showed this one before. Maybe I'll take it out of the box in a little while. But the star of the show is really not this. Wonder Bread, how you doing there, Wonder Bread? When was the last time you saw Pro 15 that wasn't scratched? Well, this is one of those times. This one's actually real nice. It has the real proper aluminum almost where you need it and none of it where you don't want it. Chevron tires, unkillable as well. All right, we might come back to this in a little bit, but really, you know, today's video is going to be about that OS engine and what the hell is wrong with it. You guys want to take a guess what the hell is wrong with it? Not 100% sure what the hell is wrong with it. It could be a lot wrong with it, but we'll come back to this in a little bit. But yes, the very first gen Pro 15 T-Max. These cars were smaller than the modern car, so like this box actually isn't even that giant. It's a pretty small box if you really think about it. All right, let's go over to the buggy. Depending how things go, I might take that one out later on. All right, guys. RC Cape Cod, how you doing? My dudes, no matter what anyone says, I think the T-Max we owe a lot of gratitude to. Regardless of whether you think the Savage is better, you think the Losi or the MGT is better, The T-Max was there first, did it first, and is still doing it today. You know what I'm saying? Take a look at the other brands. Are they still doing it today? The only thing they're doing is reselling on eBay and pissing you off with expensive prices, right? But the T-Maxes are still getting it done. Don't forget that, bros. We got the one true Lord, man. How you doing? Happy to see you. He goes, once had a Revo 3.3, but the engine died. Lucky, bro. Do the Traxxas Power Up program, the trade-in. I'm telling you, it's a really fair deal. $110, and you got yourself a new 3.3, bro. Like Traxxas, I mean, they still honor that, and it's real nice. We got Rock Perry Jr. What's going on? All right, so we're gonna take a look at this buggy as promised and the engine. Oh, Wonder Bread was watching the Unnatural Gas Hummer. Guess what, bro? I got rid of that right after the video series. That was literally the worst of the gas RCs I've ever had in my life. FS Racing, I refuse to buy anything FS Racing going forward. It seems, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it seems like FS Racing is basically a junk brand, right? Like I think maybe the European version of like HSP. But so far, I have really almost never come across anything good from FS Racing. Uh, I might be corrected one day, but as of now, that gas Hummer was the world's worst gas truck I've ever had. In fact, my videos on it were so popular that nobody ever bought one. Do you understand what that means? That means I influence people not to get one. Sickening. All right, let's get down to talking about this Kyosho. Now, I'll be honest with you, bros, I don't particularly know which model this is. These Kyoshos basically all look the same from these time periods, but one thing is for sure, it is an Inferno, right? Now, this one, as you could tell, it is missing a ton, basically like the entire Kardashian family with their brain cells, but it isn't missing the engine. Let me get a little close and personal. Now, in terms of engines, you guys saw retail price of the OS Max RZ with the built-in rear chamber boost port, $290 in 2002. That is big bucks. I don't really want to do a time value of money conversion on it, honestly, because really, at the time when people were buying, let's say, axial engines, they were selling for, the axial engines for, let's say, the Savages. This is an earlier engine. This is before the axial engine. So not really fair. I don't think there were really many big blocks during this time period. This is really right before the Savages were really going hard, right? The Savages, they had the newer generation of this engine, which was not the RZ. It was the VG, right? So there's multiple generations. This one I would say is honestly one of the sickest, in my opinion. All right. Question is, I want to ask you all a question. What do you think about that carb? Take a look at my needle settings. What I'm asking you to do is to just take a look at the needle settings. How do you find them to be? Now, I actually spent a good amount of time today trying and firing this up. How do you think that went? I'm just curious, guys. How do you think that went? What happened? Right? Big Boys Toys goes, it's rich. So based on my understanding and the manual, these are the correct factory settings. Now, normally, right, on the low-speed needle, let me move it to the side. Normally on the side right here, Pyro Tony, how you doing? This is not the car I got during the last stream. If this was, I'd be very embarrassed because I paid like $300 for that other car, right? This is not that car. Actually, the car I got is so gorgeous. I have it sitting next to me on the couch upstairs, all right? I refuse to leave its side. I refuse. And it's actually so beautiful, so premium, so pristine that I need to psych myself up to do it justice on a stream. All right? That's actually the truth. But it is upstairs, and it is beyond sickening. Anyway, normally, the low-speed needle setting. Let's take a look. Australiano, how you doing? Good day to you, bro. James Simroth, happy to see you here. We're checking out this Rare OS Max RZ. Now, these are ABC engines, chrome sleeves. The newer generations of the engines that were used in the Savages, the VG, they actually went to an ABL, which is not the best. Anyway, normally, the low-speed needle needs to be flush with the carb housing. Does that look flush to you? That does not look flush to me. It's actually one turn in. And I checked the manual. That is the correct factory setting. Now, I want to ask you guys, what do you think is wrong? Why am I talking about this? Why did I not just buy the rest of the parts I need? By the way, this is my own fuel tank. This car is obviously missing a bunch of stuff. How's the compression? Nobody here asked me how the compression is actually. That should be the first question people ask. How is the compression? So the compression is phenomenal. Philip Bender, how you doing? It did start. It started all right. It started, it ran, but I had to do something that I am not happy about to make it run. And that is kind of what I'm chasing here today. As you can tell, the carb compared to the rest of the chassis is actually quite clean. That's because the carb was removed. It was cleaned. I checked it for leaks. Based on my observation, it's solid. But there's only one major flaw. I'm going to show you a little bit if I can. You guys let me know if you notice anything wrong. Now, I might go out and try to fire it up. I know it'll fire up, but honestly, this really fought me on it. More than inflation is fighting people's wallets right now. So let me remove that. And what I'll do, I'm going to show you guys a real good close-up of the carb. Anything looks weird in there? Go ahead, let me know. In the carb. Anything looks odd? Your answer should be yes, Hybrid. Your idle gap is enormous. It's basically the same size gap as Khloe Kardashian has. Why is the idle gap so giant? Well, that is the mystery I am trying to chase down. Okay, normally, that is about 2 to 3 times larger than you need the idle gap to be. Right, John Henson goes, the barrel looks to be wrong. I don't know if it is, but this is for sure not good. So what I'll do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We could just make sure visually that, the barrel does move back. How about this? I'll remove the fuel lines for now so we can have ourselves a good view. See that? So just so people kind of know what I'm doing, I'm going to totally turn this out, okay? And we'll just watch the needle go out and the carb close up. With the rubber band applied, it's acting like a throttle return spring. So the barrel itself is fine. I don't notice any obstruction. Normally, that should be around the idle gap. For some reason, no matter what I do, cannot get this engine to run without the giant idle gap. Now, I talked this over with a couple people. Hopefully, there's no internal engine damage. Okay? There's literally nothing wrong with the carb. It seems fine. Now, we have a couple options here. What do you think I should do at this point? Philip Bender goes, it's starving for fuel. That was my first observation. You are correct. But as you could tell on the other needles, I am not out of range in any way. In fact, based on the manual, this is completely correct. Before we talk about this, I do want to do a little bit of just research on this chassis and this buggy. The thing is, I am confronted with an option. Either continue repairing this model, get all of the parts that it needs, or take this engine and hopefully run it in something else. Next level, how you doing? Pizza, bro, tell us what kind of pizza. So this is a 0.21. These are not 11K carbs. These are a different number. I forgot what number it is, but it says on it somewhere. All right, so I have a couple items open here. Just thought it would be interesting to look at. Well, let's take a look at this relatively interesting old article I found. And the reason this article matters, I want you guys to tell me why it matters. So this is an old picture of the Inferno MP5. Look at that engine inside the buggy. That, in fact, is the engine that we have. That is the OS Max RZ. Rory Holler, what's going on, Rory Holler? Just doing a little bit of a background on this, relatively trashed, forgotten junker buggy. But every junker should never become a clunker. Remember the Cash for Clunkers program? The Cash for Clunkers killed a lot of Chevy Caprice, killed a lot of town cars, killed a lot of Taurus SHOs. And now, if I want a damn Lincoln Town car, I gotta pay over $5,000. If I want a Mercury Cougar, I gotta pay the money. And I am not happy about that. If I want a Mustang SVO, forget about it. Anyway, here is the engine as it's mounted. So, period correct, proper engine in the Kyosho. Here's what the box sort of looked like. It's actually pretty interesting stuff. Kyosho had some pretty good packaging during this time period. Real nice, right? Notice they even have the exploded parts views with the engine. Well, not exploded, more like, that diagram with the engine installed. Want to ask you guys a question. Do you want me to take a look at the manual and the factory needle settings, or do something else? WBL, how you doing there, WBL? Let me take a look at some of these other links I have, and we will continue with this. All right, here's an interesting article. This is actually what I used for my thumbnail. The OS Max 21RZ. Take a look at these specs. $290. Now, notice it's only a 3-port, right? So 3-port might seem whack, but in fact, an article I read a long time ago did claim that 3 ports were basically the standard for raw racing. So what would happen is, now we all know today you get a modern, let's say a 9-port on-road Nova engine, or some OS with like 8 ports, the off the hyper 8-port, whatever. RC Adventures, how you doing, bro? Truth is, all you need is 3. Now, it's not going to be as efficient. It's going to be a nitro guzzler. But for raw legal racing, you needed to maintain 3 ports. And you can make the ports giant. Just because an engine has more ports doesn't actually mean they are that giant. Max Paul, how you doing there, bro? Welcome back to you. Long time no see, Max Paul. Everybody say hello. All right. Anyway, let's continue. So I'm going to try to stick to the engine. My goal is to at least revive the engine. The chassis, I'll have to do some considerable work on. All right. Another thing to note, OS is known to really underrate their power. Notice it's only rated at 2.15 horsepower. Every manufacturer, Sluggles RC, how you doing, bro? Every manufacturer has or had their own specific method for rating horsepower. It's not like vehicles, right? For cars, like actual vehicles, horsepower is rated pretty much on a standard basis at the crank, right? There's a measurable way that they rate it. But for RCs, Nobody knows how these dyno tests were done. There's a lot of subjectivity. The only thing you could really kind of depend on is the RPM range. Usually I find the RPM range to be accurate for these older cars. Let me continue down the line. So here we have some information on the features, blah, blah, blah. The piston sleeve, cooling head. I'm not going to get into reading this too much. Here we have a dyno result. Now, I read this already, so I'll just give you guys a quick summary. Let me ask you a question. You guys find this interesting because there ain't that many viewers right now. I could be watching a Sylvester Stallone movie, Cliffhanger. Anybody here a fan of Cliffhanger? I'm a fan of making Nitro great again. Anyway, what matters is the real, relatively even power curve. That's what matters. All right. So I'm going to read this right here. It's a good little segment. On the dyno, the engine produced 2.15 horsepower and 944.5 ounce-inches of torque. As much as or more than any other high-performance competition 0.21 designed for off-road use. So even though the 2.15 seems low, they do claim it's as much or more than others in its segment. You guys understand what I'm saying? That is what matters. Look at the temperature ratings down here. It was running at 235 degrees Fahrenheit. That's actually a really, really relatively very, very safe and kind of cool engine. Generally, it's very, very safe to go up to like 250, 260 maybe, but, I would not go over 260 unless you kind of make a mistake or something. Let's take a look at the bottom. Here is some real good information on the boost chamber. I might come back to the boost chamber information because this actually is science. It's facts. And as our good buddy, Only RC, used to say, it's facts, not fiction. Everybody, let's hope we see Only RC back here in the stream. Anyway, let's continue, everybody. So we took a look at the chassis. Oh, John Hensley gifted a membership. Shillin FPV, congratulations, man. I'm glad to have you as a new channel member. Means a lot to me, and special thanks and shout out to our awesome channel member and Nitro Guru, John Hensley. All right. Next up, I think we should take a look at the manual, because the manual is going to be very important for getting this engine to be set up correctly. I don't know why, just can't get this thing to tune correctly. Actually, you know what? Do the manuals even matter? I think we should just go fire it up. All right, let me just flip it on the bottom. So far, nobody here asked me what the compression is like. I'm still very, very surprised by that, because really, in the Nitro world, only compression matters. All right? Compression matters and glow plugs. So, I'm going to turn it over. I mean, it's honestly very, very, I cannot physically turn it over at all. It is very, very, very tight. Which leads me to believe it's very good, or the other alternative is somebody botched a repinch, which I hope is not the case. The one not very good thing I did notice, now this is an old engine, there is a good amount of old oil right there in the bottom of the crank. Not a very good idea. I did notice something else, and let me show it to you really up close, guys. So these models, believe it or not, take a look at this. I'm going to zoom in. Lotus RC, how you doing, bro? By the way, guys, could we get a little congratulations to Lotus RC? Picked up some Sickening Nitros today. I'm not going to say what they are unless he wants to tell us all. They might make a special appearance on his channel. All right. Big Boys Toys Ghost could have a leak. That's what I'm thinking, bro. Let me zoom in over here. Look at the way the flywheel is mounted. Now, this is not 100% wrong. Notice there's a ton of washers right there. So the way this works is, right, it's just to push the flywheel forward to get better spacing clearance for the clutch belt. So I'm not going to say that this is the issue, but I'm wondering if this could have somehow led to the issue. Just something to keep in mind, everybody. Something to keep in mind. Do you want me to remove the carb real quick, take a look on the inside, see what we got going on? There's actually something inside the carb I have never seen before, ever in my life. You want me to remove the carb and just to take a quick look at it? By the way, guys, I've tested the carb. It seems fine. Okay. Carb or no carb? All right. So I'm going to take the carb out. Why? Because the OS carbs have a bit of a specificity to them, and it's very, very important. Throughout the years, people have contacted me on one particular issue related to these carbs. WBL loves carbs. Well, especially when they're in a pizza, right? I agree. A pizza carb is the best carb. All right. So what I'll do just for our viewership pleasure, I'm going to take the carb out. I've already done it. Max Paul goes, yes, check the carb. I'm glad you said that. So I'm going to remove it and we'll take a look at it. The reason I mention that is because these carbs have a special sleeve, a carb insulator. Oftentimes, if your carb insulator is cracked, there's no way you're going to get a tune. All right. So we need to really, if you have one of these, this is what I mean by the carb insulator. That's the goal. So there is a science to it. They say that it stops the fuel from vaporizing. I'm assuming it creates a temperature difference. That's kind of like what it is. These are replaceable. Now, normally what happens, the pinch bolt, if somebody over tightens them, notice how mine has a little bit of a groove right there. If these things are cracked, there's pretty much nothing you could do. It's going to suck in air. But I mean, on visual inspection, mine looks okay. I've seen way, way, way worse. This is what I'm talking about, where the pinch bolt clamps on. Guys, you see what I'm saying? All right. The rest of it looks pretty normal. Let's examine the barrel. The barrel seems to slide adequately. I don't notice anything crooked in there. The barrel is fine, guys. This is good. I've, blown through this and I plugged it. There's definitely no air escaping. Let's take a look inside the carb. There is something in there that I think people have never seen before. Now, I had to actually look up a manual for this. All right, Lotus goes, it looks to be in good condition. All right, so inside the carb area, rather. It's not the carb, I mean the crankcase. Do you see what that is over there? Let me move it. Hold on a second. Let me magnetize something. This thing is not magnetic. Look at that. Anybody here ever seen this? It's a metal ring that is sitting, it's basically a shim, correct, Lotus, in the carb. Now, we need to verify if this is correct or if it's not correct. But this does appear to be a pretty sickening piece of pretty flat metal. Nothing crazy. It's not rubber. At first, I thought it was rubber, but it's definitely not rubber. All right, so I hope we guys are learning together because I have never seen that kind of setup on a carb. You know what I'm saying? As John Hensey says, every Nitro has a story. And this one, I think we're all learning something. I certainly have never ran across. It appears, I mean, this is obviously the goal, right? You're trying to extend it forward. But one would think that you would have another rubber seal at the bottom. Australian goes, is that to restrict airflow? It does not appear to be, bro, because it's exactly the same size. Yeah, I don't see how this would restrict airflow. So let's find this in the manual. I have the manual open. Let me take a look at it. It's in the Explorer Parts Views. My dudes, could I get a hell yeah for my level of research over here? Bros, I don't come to streams unprepared. The only mystery is which tab is the manual. Okay, I got the manual right here. Hybrid, never go to streams unprepared. All right. So here it is. Here is the manual to this engine. What I'll do, I'm just going to basically go all the way to the bottom. I already know where it is. And I'll show you guys this part. Here it is. If you take a quick look with the carb, it's this part number 7. So here's our regular O-ring, and part number 7 is that. I don't know what the function is, but let's take a look at what the part number actually is called. Real interesting, and I've never seen really any modern engine use that setup ever. This also gives us a good way to check out the boost port. We'll talk about the boost system later. So this is number 7, right? Let's scroll down. All right, so on the parts list, number 7, carb sealing washer. That's what it is. So it is correct. I mean, the real mystery is, this is literally a non-flexible piece of metal. I don't know how this would seal anything. It's not even rubber. It's a mystery and a half. I'll tell you something. I tried it with and without it. It's the same result. So no result, no difference from this. All right, let's go back to the view. I mean, I'm going to put it back in because it seems to be there. Yeah. Pyro Tony goes, I don't know why you need a shim there. Neither do I, bro. JP, how you doing there, JP? Happy to see you here. Real, I would say, somewhat interesting setup. Why you would have a spacer there at the carb. Maybe they used the carb from like an older setup and it just wasn't long enough and they needed, something to like raise it a little bit. It doesn't make any sense to me, at least I'll say. All right, guys. At this time, I think I'm going to assemble it back. Appreciate you guys viewing today. This might not be a very interesting stream. Don't know. Some of the viewers probably busy doing some crap, but it's okay. Brian Smith, congratulations. He said he's picking up Sickening Nitros. All right. I'm going to put this, apparently what appears to be a washer back in. But like on the inside there, nothing. Lawless, how you doing there? Lawless RC, happy to see you here, man. Let me bring you and everyone else up to speed, bros. Because, a lot of viewers just joined. This is an old school, top of the line, high level Sickening OS Max RZ. And there's really only one problem. Cannot get this thing to run with a lower idle. I literally spent like 2 hours trying to get it to idle consistently and normal. It doesn't run good. My other possible thing that I probably should check, the carb seems to be normal. I think, is it possible the clutch is bad? Although when I spin the clutch belt, it's free. And like I had this thing idling, but at a very high idle. All right. So we just took a look at this in the carb. It's like a carb spacer, they call it. I have never seen any other Nitro engine use a carb spacer like this. Normally, the carb itself, right, it would just sit like that and that's it. Like that's all there is to it. This one, you need a spacer. John, how you doing there, John? Happy to see you here, bro. We got ourselves a old OS. All right, so I'm going to install this all back, and no guarantees I'll get it to run. In fact, it might not even run. All right, so that gasket falls in really, really evenly. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it seems that the only goal of that gasket is just to raise the carb up, right? Looking inside, I mean, the engine looks normal. There's, just like some minor little scratches there on the crankshaft, but the compression is really hardcore. There's pretty much very minimal rust in there. Nitro Pimp, how you doing, man? Happy to see you here, bro. we were just talking about this OS that no matter what, well, we discussed this. I cannot get this thing to run at a normal idle. So in terms of the carb, only way I got this thing to start is we're talking I had to go crazy high on the idle. Like more than that. So I'm thinking, should we go try it? Let's check my needle settings. So the low speed needle has to be 1 turn from flush. This does appear to be about 1 turn, and here I'm about 2.5 to 3 turns. If you guys want, I could literally check the manual again, but like I'm going to tell you something, I've already checked it. It's basically correct. So let me shove this thing back in there, and we'll see what I can get done today. The O-ring looks normal. There do not appear to be any leaks, like from air alone. All right. The carb sits pretty good. Like it's literally, I have no issues with the way the carb is sitting. All right. Let me tighten this up, and we'll see what we can make happen today. By the way, for those of you who missed it earlier, I did show a Sickening T-Max, the very first generation Pro 15. So before I do that, for the new viewers that are here, you guys want me to go take a look inside a box of a Sickening T-Max, the Pro 15, very first generation. Now, I didn't take it out of the box. I've had that truck on the channel earlier, but it has one issue. All right. Let's go check it out. All right, WBL, the rest of you guys want to see. John, Lawless, let's go take a look at it. So, this is the very first generation Pro 15 T-Max. It has one issue. Front bearing is toast in the engine. But other than that, it's basically beautiful. Where are you going to find the Traxxas Pro Graphics body like that? Nowhere. Hellfire, how you doing there, bro? Happy to see you here. Good friend of mine. Check that out. That would have been a very, very tasty T-Max. Lawless goes, I got the green body. Yeah, these were, in my opinion, some of the best looking bodies. This is, if you guys remember, I had this one on the channel before. Got Cash. It's a Got Cash special. I guess somebody had to have some cash to build this T-Max, right? Really good upgrade there with that period correct dynamite pipe. Motor Saver air filter. We do have the Robinson Racing metal spur gear. Beautiful, beautiful setup. I've, made the servos work. Everything on this works. Other than the damn front bearing, it leaks more than you ever want anything to leak. That's the only problem so far. But the rest of this truck is, it's honestly pretty great. There's nothing wrong with it. Suspension is good. You know, it has all of the, aluminum of the time period. And these were the best upgrades ever. These Robinson Racing spurs. Yeah, I see most of you guys here in the chat have it. This was top level niceness right here. Anyway, I'm probably going to restore this T-Max back, but, the reason I bring this up is I was having a conversation with a good buddy of mine. He asked me to pull out the OG T-Max, and, well, I had to find it in the box. Because Hybrid here, you might as well call me Box Man, because I got boxes. All right? See those boxes? Question is, you guys want to see what's in that box? Christopher, how you doing there? Christopher, guarantee you nobody here knows what's going to be in this box. Nobody. Not one person. I don't even think I remember what's in that box. All right, Lotus, bro, thank you. The bearings are pretty cheap. I might as well pull them from like another car. I'll do a quick mini view, okay? A mini. Don't look too much. What the hell is that? Do you see what I'm talking about? Nobody even knows what that is. If I show it, can't be doing that. Can't be doing that, my guy. Do you see what I'm talking about here? It's freaking upside down. All right, let's get back to Kyosho business. Pyro Tony, yeah, finding a muffler for an MGT 8.0 is no easy task, bro. I literally only have one MGT 8.0 with one pipe. You know what I'm saying? I would actually give it to you for free, bro. I don't need no trades, but I don't even have any other ones myself. You know, I seem to have a junkyard full of old Savage pipes, but that's basically about it. All right, guys, I'm thinking, should we go try to do a fire up in this one? This one might need a ton of preheating. The last time I tried to run it, the flywheel just kept getting stuck no matter what I did. You know, worst case scenario, I do think somebody did a bad repinch on it. But okay. What do we say? Mark 2 leg goes fire in the hole. I'm actually a little bit not very excited about firing this one up because it's not easy to do. And it's freaking cold outside right now. What do you guys say? Should Hybrid get dressed and go? Dress and go. I honestly don't know if he'll start. All right, so we have the idle really high. The goal is to get it to idle lower. I'm going to give it a shot. All right, so where we are right now in the idle, I'll show you quickie before we go. I am at still a relatively high on the idle setting. Goal is to bring that down and to get it to run. But I'm not very confident that's going to happen today. What do you guys think? Can we get a little motivation in here? John Henson wants to know, how is the tank sealed? The tank is fine. I checked the tank. This is obviously not the correct tank for this chassis, but the tank is fine. All right, I'm going to get ready. We got to get a little bit of fuel going in this. You know what? We might need to do a massive preheat on it also. I'll just loosen the plug. We'll see how it goes. Melissa, I need help, please. I'll be get set up over here, guys. We'll get a little bit of fuel in it. Where's my fuel bottle?
I don't know. You had it set up.
I'm not ready yet. Say hello to them. Melissa, say hello to Nitro Gang. All right, let me get set up, guys. I got to get a little bit of fuel in this. Give me that quart of fuel in the back, please, boo. Fuel me. Like that song. Can you get that rice out of there? You know, I only like my rice with the gas RCs. Mark, how you doing there, Mark? Give me that funnel, please. We need the funnel. Funnel. There should be a funnel. Melissa, everyone's saying hello to you.
Hi, guys.
Toyota guy, how you doing there, man? If Toyota guy's here, you know this is going to be a reliable fire up. Robert Jones, what's up? You want to show him your nails?
No.
Why? You nail conscious?
No.
Melissa's nail conscious, y'all.
No.
It's a new term I invented, nail conscious. John Hensey, thank you, bro. He goes, keep up the great Nitro content. Appreciate you, man. I try. I'm not very excited about this one. I'll be honest with you. I think that it's gonna be a problem. Good luck if I even started, but I'm gonna try, bro. Thank you, man, John Hensley. By the way, I do have a new glow plug in here, but let's always test my glow driver before I go. All right, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a test over here with this glow driver. All right, it's nice and red. All right, boo. Can someone yell fire? Maybe in the hole. All right, I'm gonna take this when I go outside. Can you give me that red box? We might need a preheater, okay? All right, bros. Melissa out here on the job. Not getting that overtime though, okay? Melissa, no overtime today. It might be a little windy, guys. You let me know, but hopefully the wind settles down. Yeah, maybe fire in the hole. Maybe. I think he'll start. I just don't think it'll be easy. Now, let me make sure we can prime it. I'm gonna undo the plug a little bit because the compression on this one is like real hardcore. Got close to 100 viewers. Hell yeah. Fire in the hole, maybe, guys. Okay. I don't think you've ever heard me seem so pessimistic, have you? It's a first. All right, so the engine goes this way, so I gotta line it up this way. That's good. All right, fire in the hole maybe, but I gotta prime it first, all right? So what I'll do, I'm gonna let you guys observe the fuel in here. Hopefully it'll be okay to see. I have the lights on super hardcore. If there are any more hardcore in here, they're gonna call the coppers on me. All right, let's plug the exhaust. We'll see if this even primes, which we have a clear fuel line. It should be obvious, all right? 1, 2, 3, prime in the hole. Oh, and there we go. This thing needs to probably be preheated. Oh, there it goes. It's stuck at the top. The piston is stuck at the top already. Like, even with the plug loose, it's stuck at the top. I think I'm going to have to preheat the crap out of this one. Basically spent like 2 hours doing this the other day. All right. It's loose, but I don't think he'll even do a good job. I don't know. It's probably out here wasting time. Do we need a preheater on this, to be honest with you? You guys think, should I go run in and try to get a preheater, or just keep trying a little bit with a loose plug, a little more? All right, it's looser than before. Like What I could do, I could just basically just blow in it. Ray Coral, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Ray, I hope you got a chance to see that T-Max. If not, I will go take a look at it again a little bit later, all right? I'm out here trying to fire this up. If this doesn't work, I'll heat it. Let me just try one more time. Who knows? Maybe sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's odd. When I'm blowing through it, the fuel, I can hear the air escaping. That is odd. That's not supposed to happen. What is going on? When I'm blowing through the fuel line, there's no fuel going in. This tank is 100% sealed well. Like, I checked. What the hell is going on? The fuel lines are actually good. I checked. This tank is good. Blow in the prime. That's what I just did. All right, let me open up the carb. There's definitely something wrong here. Nothing's happening. Let me check the fuel line like this. I'm going to blow in it and just plug it. Yeah, it's definitely, this is definitely good. Something is happening in this area. Yeah, JP goes, that's my problem. That's my problem. Something is happening. Why is that happening? So the fuel tank is sealed, but when I blow through the pressure line, there's no fuel coming out. Let's see what we got. It's not gummed up, guys. This was just cleaned. It's not gummed up. What if I open up the carb completely and just blow through it? No. Barely any. You could hear like the bubbles in there. Barely any. Now, there's something wrong. I don't know why it's doing that. I checked every fitting on this car, bros. I'm telling you, I checked every fitting. What should we do? You know what? If I had another carb just to test out right now, you think like an Offner carb would work? It's definitely picking up fuel. All right, you want me to try another fuel tank? What if I plug this with my finger and try again? I'm going to plug this, okay? Maybe there's a leak, but there's definitely no leak here. I'm going to plug this. No, it's the same thing. Let me plug the low speed. No, it's the same thing. Same thing. Lawless goes, the O-ring is bad. Bro, I checked the O-ring, dude. It's good. I'm telling you, I could remove it right now. We could look at it together. Like, there's something going on with the whole, like, it is tight. Let me turn this. It is tight in here. Like, you see, it's not even easy to turn. The O-ring, I'm telling you, it's not like my first day on this, but the O-ring to me seems very good. It's actually even tough to turn this out. You see, I'm legit struggling to even turn this. But there's something wrong with that whole priming situation. That's like the first sign of something going not good. Blue Ford, how you doing? I'm going to wind up doing that. All right. I've already looked at all of these items, bros. I want you to know. Dude, that O-ring, I mean, it's kind of dark out here, but it does not look bad. Come on, tell me. Does that O-ring look bad? It doesn't. It looks normal. As I spin it, it's completely normal. That's like a proper... All right. Now blow through it. Okay, you want me to blow through it? JP goes, it has to be the tank. All right, so you want me to plug this? Nah, same thing. Nah, you could hear it. Like, it's the same thing. I could go get another tank. What if I just blow like this then? Yeah, you could hear the fuel coming out of here now. What if I open up the carb more? I mean, that's the only way I was able to start it. Preston and Cats, how you doing? Let me try it now. Nah, it's basically air bubbles in there. Yeah, it's not even getting to the carb. That's what I'm saying. I do have another tank I could go try, but it's not gonna look good, bro. So it's gonna look real bad. So the carb is fine. I mean, I've seen the carb. I had this thing running today. All right, so the low speed needle is fine. There's nothing wrong with the low speed needle. It's completely normal. Let me go get another tank. I mean, we could try it, but it's gonna be a problem. I'm back, bros. I'm back, bros. Okay. So I found another tank. Appreciate you guys sticking around. This is a tank from, I think, like an old Offna touring car, like an LD3 maybe. All right, let's see what we got. I need to get a screwdriver now. All right, my dudes, I'm back. I'm back. Let me undo this tank. And what I'll do, you know what? Just to prove, well, I don't know if I want to prove. The plug is a little bit out. So this tank is 100% sealed. I know it's sealed. Let me put a little fuel in this one. What I'll do, I'm going to blow through. Well, it's not good to go reverse. How am I going to get fuel into this? All right, I'll just do this. Let me see if I can get fuel into this through the hole. Let's see if that works. This is going to be a mystery. Okay, well, bad idea. Okay, so I need to do... It's not going to work. All right, let me just remove this tank. Let's try to save fuel here, guys. Okay, I'm low on nitro. Let me undo this one. All right, I got the idea. I know what I'll do. Okay, this is what we'll do. I'm simply just going to put this inside the fuel cap. There we go. We got the fuel line in the fuel cap. I'm just going to blow through this and it'll force it in. Watch this. Just to show that it's sealed. Nah, it's not going to work. Maybe this tank is bad. Well, that's a mystery. I just had that tank running. All right, the problem is this one is meant to be screwed in from the bottom. So I'm going to have to like just position it. Like, it's not going to be pretty. Let me see if I can transfer this. I really would hate to waste that. Give me a second. My bro saw it's taking a little bit of time. Can't do that. I'm going to need to think of something else. All right, let me get something else. All right. I'm just gonna use regular new fuel. I have no choice. All right, so the fuel tank isn't really touching anything important here. I'll be fine. Problem is I can't really get it to lay flat, but the pickup is all the way on top, and this one I know is sealed. Let's try it again, I guess. All right, just a small amount of fuel. My dudes, I'm doing a lot of things that normally you shouldn't do. All right. Let's put in the high-speed needle back for now, okay? I don't think it's the high-speed needle issue at all, to be honest with you. The O-ring seems very good. All right, that's about kind of where the needle should be. All right, and we'll do the exhaust. It's not very good the way, whatever, it's fine. It's a little bit bent, but it's not like that bad. There's nothing else I could do. This is basically how it's going to have to be for now. Well, what can I do? All right. Chaotic, how you doing there, Chaotic Adventure? There's some chaotic crap going on right here, right now, bro. All right, let's see if I could actually just prime it first, which I should have done. Let me blow through it. We're going to observe the fuel once again. Well, it definitely got fuel this time. Definitely got fuel this time. All right. So the pickup is still covered in fuel. I mean, this is not a very good setup I have going on. All right, let's try this one. What I need is longer fuel line. What do you guys think is going to happen? Let me lower the idle just in case, because I kind of had it really crazy before. Maybe I won't even need it. All right, sucked in some nitro just now. Not very delicious. All right, I mean, I got fuel in there. Let's see, the plug is like one turn loose. I could definitely see fuel in there. Sickening. Let's see. All right, 1, 2, 3. I hope fire in a hole. Yep, Mark, this off the fuel tank is sickening. One, two, three. Let's see. Nah, it gets stuck right away. This thing won't start without like a crazy amount of heat. The flywheel is like, I think somebody poorly repinched this maybe. Can't even get this thing to spin over. All right. What do you guys say? Get the torch. Not happy about this, bro. This is wasting a lot of my time streaming tonight. All right, let's get the torch. All right, I'm gonna do it short bursts on the head here. Hybrid losing some motivation, bros. Yeah, I basically spent like a good solid 2 hours doing this before. I think it all comes down to the fuel tank. Let's let it chill. Normally, yeah, you should heat the block, but I'm like, it's too hard to do it on this engine. Like maybe a couple, 3 times right here, it'll work. All right, let me see if I can get actually to the side to heat the block. The problem is, you know, you really don't want to heat the spring. And on this one, the block is right next to the spring. Like, you see what I'm saying? I could do this, but a lot of this heat is really close to basically the expensive OS parts. I'm doing multiple locations. It's definitely not going to be enough, though. It's only like room temperature because it's cold outside right now. Yeah, this spring is toast anyway. I don't know if you guys noticed. This is literally using 2 different springs put together. Henrik, how you doing there? Henrik Sorensen. Let's try it again. What do you guys think? Give it a go? Give it a go or a hell no? Right, move the piston to the bottom. Let's try it again. Alright. Let me line it up. This is off. That wasn't good. Alright. Let's try it. And that's it, it's stuck. It spun over like 3 times. You heard that, right? Spun over like 3 times and it's stuck. Alright, we're gonna heat it more. Alright. Yeah, spun over like a solid 3 times. And that was it. Sickening. We got about 100 viewers here. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Nitro Pim confirms it. Sometimes when you do a bad repinch, it does that. I mean, I had this one running. I actually have a short of it running, but I didn't put it up. Let me just do this side a little more. My dude's hybrid is out here freezing himself. All for the nitros. You believe that crap? It spun over very, very little bit. And keep in mind, my plug is... So, yeah, it's like a 1 turn loose. You know? Beyond sickening. Nothing. Alright, it was definitely spinning over. Barely spun it over. You guys heard that. Maybe not enough fuel. Let me do a little more, maybe. Alright, it's definitely in there. Well, I got it to spin over, though. That was something. Let's keep going. Sick. No, I don't think there's enough fuel. What I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to open up the idle a lot, like where I was before. That was the only way I got this thing to start. Is by opening up the idle. Crazy amount. Once it starts with the idle, I guess we can go from there, guys. What do you think about that? Sick. Got stuck again. Got stuck again. You see what I'm talking about? It's just very cold out here right now. It's really not doing too good. I got it moved. Sick. Let me see what you guys are saying. So yeah, fire in the hole is becoming less and less inevitable. Well, I'm trying out here. You can't say I'm not trying. Lotus, the thing has a new plug. I just put a new plug in this before, just so you know, okay? It legit has a new plug. Problem is, it's just very cold. Can't get this thing to be warm enough. It's like 50 degrees outside right now, maybe. All right. We're going to keep trying, bro. This is one of those that would benefit from a electric start system. All right, so I opened up the idle. Got the plug maybe half a turn loose. Let's keep trying. I mean, we got no quitters here until it takes a while. Probably wait like an hour before you quit. Nah. It wants to do it. You see that? It's just not getting fuel. This is what happens. I keep opening up the carb to get it to fire up. I'm like almost 2 millimeters open right now on the carb. Yeah, I have the idle real high. Let's keep going, and then when it starts, maybe something good will happen. Damn it. Damn it. Stuck again. See what I'm talking about, bros? Who else goes through this? I'm already pretty high in the idle, by the way, everybody. Probably toast. So let me just show you quickie. Do you see where I am on the idle? That is real high in the idle. And trust me, there's nothing wrong with my screws. Let's try again. Nah. By the way, I just charged this battery on the on the starter box. Just charged it. All right. What do you think? Should I be giving up or try a couple more times? Tell you what's going on. Getting a lot of oil in my nice blue jacket. That's what's going on. Oh, we're out of butane. It's over. No more butane. Hair dryer, chaotic. That's right. So Let's try again. I'm going to switch this a little bit so we can get a view from this side. Nah, it's stuck right away. Basically stuck right away. Alright, stuck right away. Alright, I'm going to loosen the plug a little bit more. But this ain't going well. This is going pretty bad. Come on. It's just not catching, no matter what you do. I'm going to raise it more. I'm going to raise it more. Yeah, no matter what you do, it's just not catching, bros. Yeah, basically only started when I pulled the throttle like crazy. Well, I did get a fire in the hole, but not a very good one. Let's see if I can do a little more. I'm just leaning out the high speed. All right, let's try again, guys. It did start. I'm going to have to open up the idle. Who knows? Maybe the clutch is like loose and it's not catching or something. That's all I can get it to do, bros. I mean, the idle is like insane high on this, but it's still cold. But there's something with the needle settings. We could try again. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere from here, though. To be honest with you, you know. Let's try again. I'm really high on the idle, and it was dropping real fast. All right, so I'm trying to tune it, but like the thing is, it's not keeping a conventional tune. Let's try again. All right, let's try again, guys. I leaned it out a little more. Let's go, fire in the hole. Thank you, bro. Sick. Minutes run. Let's let her run. Fire in the something. Do it. Hold on. Hard to do. It's a little better. Let it chill. No leak. No leak. Too much. Yeah, clutch shoes could be coached. It runs. Lawless, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Hell yeah to Lawless. Let her run it out, okay? Thank you, bro. Thank you, Wallace. It doesn't seem to be responding. I mean, look at that idle gap. Well, I got it running. Let's wait till it finishes it. All right, let's plug it. We're going to check for a leak test, okay? Hell yeah, Max Boogie. We're going to check it. All right. All right, bro. Lolas, thank you for that super chat. Massive, massive thank you, man. What I was doing, I don't know if you guys heard because it was like loud over here. Just plugged it and it shut off instantly. That means there's no leaks in the carb. But, you see my idle gap. Look at that idle gap. Big Boys Toys, thank you, bro. He goes towards new clutch springs. It's highly possible the engine needs to be pulled as well. So thank you for that, Big Boys Toys, and all of you guys. Yeah, the engine actually isn't hot. I think the compression is good. There's just something, maybe the clutch is bad and it just like doesn't catch or something. I don't know. And it won't let it idle lower. But what I'll do now, let me just test over to see if we have compression still. Do you guys like that? I'm honestly a little bit surprised myself. So shout out to all of you. Appreciate that. Let me check right now to see what we got. Yeah, it's actually really, really tight. I cannot spin it over. I'm thinking this must have been a bad pinch. I don't know. Maybe it needs to run a lot. It's highly possible. I'm thinking what I probably said. Thank you, bro. ANP Racing, I appreciate that. He goes, another sickening fire up. Joined late, but well worth it. Yeah, bro. I didn't think this was going to go down myself, to be honest with you. I was out here struggling for a half hour already. So, fuel tank is good. Obviously, it's not the right fuel tank. I think what I'm going to have to do, bro, is we're going to have to pull this engine. It's possible that, if I get the rest of the parts, it'll be a runner. But I think we should just get moving to the engine for now. What do you guys think? It ran. The compression is really hardcore. there do not seem to be any leaks. Normally, when you plug the carb like this and it just like shuts off instantly, it's fine. Bleetzer, thank you, man, for showing up. I hope we see you again. You have a good night. Wondering, should we do one more mini fire in the hole after the first fire up? Although, should I just quit while I'm ahead? Mini fire in the hole or quit while I'm ahead? All right, you know what? Let's get it done. I'm going to do one more. We still have fuel in the fuel line, so it should fire up no problemo. Let's just see what happens. The piston is at the bottom, and it's basically preheated. All right, Nitro Pimp wants to see the box. Okay, we're going to get to it, bro. Hold on a second. Let me try, see if it fires up again. Oh, and it's stuck. Yeah, it's stuck already. It's stuck. It's I told you, I couldn't even spin it over. It's stuck again. Sickening. This probably needs like a good 2 solid, good tanks ran through it. It's stuck again. All right. Let me try one more time, and then I'm gonna disengage. One more time, fire in a hole, and then disengage, okay? We got it. Yeah, the clutch springs are toast. Fire in a hole, success number 2. All right, we're running out of fuel because it's leaning out. Anyway, there was a fire up. All right, let's go inside and we'll take a look at it. But you notice, like, it starts, when I started it, it starts at a very, very low idle. Like, you know, with an opening of the idle gap like that, that should not be the case, like, ever. What do you guys think? What symptoms we got here other than sickening? But it fired up. Obviously, you know, I have like fuel line issues. There's more than one issue here. So, all right, let's go back inside and we're gonna continue. I might pull the engine, see where we're at. You know what? Let me see how much fuel I got in this. All right. Well, it ran. All right. Appreciate you guys with the support. Massive super chats here tonight. Let's go take a look at it. All right. Yep. Wonder Bread goes, we can, we saw, and now we know it's sickening. You know what's sickening, Wonder Bread? I'm going to show you something a little more sickening. I got a Monster GT humping a Baja. You guys want to take a look at what engine is in this MGT? It's actually a truck I never showed on this channel ever. If we get a hell yeah, I will take a look at the engine. Never before seen major sickening truck Ola. All right, let's show it. Bros, never before seen. Do you understand? That is a Serio monster big block. Toyota guy, thank you, man. Because of your ultimate Toyota reliability, we had a fire in a hole 2 times. Serio monster big block, baby. That's how hybrid rolls. You understand? This is my kitchen table over here. I'm not even joking right now. I got RCs all over the place by the damn cooling ducts. Melissa just said, Melissa, you knew what you were marrying. This is the Nitro gang over here. We don't need no walks. You know, the walk, the CRIP. We don't do that. We do the Nitro walks of shame sometimes. Max Paul with the hell yeah.
But who keeps RCs in the kitchen?
I keep RCs in the kitchen.
I know you do.
Unfortunately, the world economy has gotten so shit that it's cheaper to eat out than to cook at home. That's what I'll tell you. Not my fault that's the case with the current economy. That's the truth, guys. It's cheaper to get the BOGO deals on Uber Eats than to go buy groceries at the store. I would have never thought that that would have been the case. But that is legit the freaking case, bros. Okay? Okay, let's continue, everybody. Let me mention, sorry I wasn't reading a lot. Okay, here we go. Thank you guys again for donations to the channel tonight. You understand? The Nitro kitchen is getting smaller by the day. I ran out of room in the fridge. Luckily, I got 2 fridges. All right. So, what do you think we need to do at this point, everybody? Pull the engine, check out the clutch. Nitro Pimp goes, do we have an Aldi? Yes, bro, we do. To be honest with you, I don't like Aldi. It's like legit, probably the second world's worst store in the world. Like you go there, there's one register, and they look down at you. They don't even make eye contact. All right. Lawless goes, I got a brand new 28 cereal in box. Holy moly. I don't have a new one. I have a nice used one, but they're all great. But yeah, those cereal engines, bros, I'm sure for those of you that know, and Lawless and many of you here know about the old vintage RC brands. You know, cereal, in fact, to this day, I remember I sold a Nitro to, forgot who it was. It was a good viewer of mine. Maybe Ray. Maybe it was, his name was Ray. It was that cereal. It was a Trinity Nitro Reflex with a black .15 cereal cooling head. So far, I'm going to be honest with you, bros, best engine in the world. In the world. Better than OS. Yes, I will say better than OS. And that is not easy to say. Better than OS. Too bad cereal is dead and gone, as they say. What's that song by Kanye West? Dead and Gone? I think that's the song. Let me check out what you guys are saying here in the chat. All right, let's get down to business. I think let's just check out the way the clutch is set up, and we'll take a look. Unless we have some viewers in here that want to take a look at that classic T-Max. I will do a quick poll right now. That's right, Lola's goes, it's dead and gone, it makes me cry. Me too, bro. That was like Kanye West's only good song, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, Timberlake, great singer. All right, what we'll do, I'm going to a little bit of a poll. We'll do, because I can't do everything. I promised Melissa we're going to go to like Taco Bell tonight, you know. Let me put this in. Hold on a second. Or pull engine and clutch. Check. All right, bros. Sickening. All right, started a little bit of a poll. Let's see what the viewers say. Truth is, if you guys don't pick that pull engine, I'm just going to do this tonight at like 2 a.m. in the morning right after Taco Bell. Like, that's the reality of this household. Bros, Melissa goes to bed early. I stay up till like 3:30 in the morning. We all know that about 1:30 to 3 is the best time to wrench on a Nitro. Come on, everybody here knows. Right, Ray Coral goes pull motor. Well, guys, I'm going to have to leave it to the vote. Oh, man, the pull motor is winning. I am surprised. So far, the pull engine and clutch is 65%. That's highly surprising. I really didn't think anybody would do the pull the motor. You guys in love with the OSs, huh? I'm in love with the OSs, too. And I don't even need to do the CRIP walk. All right, I'm going to give it one more minute. We got about 26 votes. 62% going with pull the engine. I'm highly surprised. I would have never thought that. But John Hensley goes, starting a Nitro at 2 a.m. is a great day. That is true. All right. We got 27 volts, so we're going to end the poll. I'm going to show it to you right here so you all know I'm not making it up. Here are the poll results so far. I'm highly surprised. Double pull engine and check clutch. Almost 2 to 3. All right, we're going to end the poll, and let's continue. Poll result, 61%. Pull engine. My dudes, I believe in democracy. And that was the Nitro democracy in action. So let's pull the engine. I appreciate you all. Engine pulling time. You see that? I want you guys to know, back when I was in college, 2 times in college, they called me two-time Tony for a reason. Not because of the what, but because of the college. Anyways, when I was on student government, in the student government multiple times, voting was how things got done. But there was always that one person that voted for the chick they liked the most. Who do you think that was? All right. Holy moly. This is going to be one of those, isn't it? This is going to be one of those stubborn ones. Unfortunately, my torch ran out of butane. I'm going to have to pull one of these now. Damn it. This ain't coming out. It's going to be one of those, huh? My dudes, I don't know if I can get the engine out. These bits kind of suck. I don't care if these bits break. Problem is my torch is busted. I ran out of butane, bro, so I can't do it. Can't do it. Ran out of butane. All right, so I don't really care about this tool. It's not going to work. Let's try another tool. I'm going to try it one more time. Let's try this. That's not working at all. It's skipping. All right. Need ideas. So I do have a cordless heat gun, by the way. Everybody, just so you know, I do have a cordless heat gun. You want to see me refill the butane torch? I have a refill somewhere. I'm going to have to go look for it. Honestly, it's a shit ton of work. I can go look for it, though. You want me to go look for it? Let's go look for the butane torch. All right, I have a refill somewhere. Let me go look for it. It's probably in my drawer with the candy. I'm not even joking right now. That's legit the truth. I have a candy drawer. All right. All right, my dudes. I'm going to show you the candy drawer. Don't nobody get too crazy, okay? Are you ready? Bros, you want to see the candy drawer? This is old candy. I don't drink this coffee anymore. Shit's garbage. All right, here we go. This is the random junk candy drawer. Thought I was kidding, huh? Nah, I wasn't kidding. All right, let me go get the torch. It's outside. And we'll put some fuel in there. All right. The candy drawer did its job, everybody. Thought I was joking. Yeah, I actually ate all the candy in it. I'm sorry, guys. There was like some nice icebreakers in there. I actually ate all the icebreakers I had. I ordered some more. But yeah, next time I promise I will have a better candy drawer. Do you want to see my stove right now? Bros, that's the stove right now. No one's playing around. All right. Let's put some butane in this. Low battery mode. All right. Can't use the light anymore. Hold on a second. That's enough. All right, let's check. That's right. That's right. Candy drawer. That's where you got to keep the butane at, bros, okay? The candy drawer. I got to stock up the candy drawer, though. Melissa, I need my phone charger, please. Can you give me the white charger? My phone almost toast. Phone charger. Please. Let's go back. Please give me the white charger. Appreciate you. All right, put it on my finger. All right, thanks, boo.
Oh.
Sickening. Close door, please, boo.
Hey, boo. Stop calling me boo.
She told me not to call her boo. Believe that? Sick. All right, bros, we are back. I promise I ordered candy. If you want to see, I will show you. I have my Amazon order. It's supposed to come tomorrow. Okay. Let's try this again. Let me just connect the charger. Actually, I don't need it right now. We're not using the lights. Okay. Let's heat her up. Guys. Lola's goes. I like the MGT on the fridge. That's actually a LST, bro. That's the LST. You know what? I'm going to follow up with some LST content on that one because, honestly, that LST has one major issue. You know the center drive shaft issue, right? Where the center drive shafts on the LSTs are just hella tiny. They pop out all the time. So I'm going to be fixing that. I'm just doing a little bit of research on how best to communicate it. That's right, LST. All right, let's hope this is enough. Let's hope it's enough. As they say, sometimes, damn it, never enough. All right, I'm gonna try it like this. Well, the wrench just twisted itself in the middle. That wrench is toast. Kill that one. Luckily, I have another one. Bro, whoever built this, they went real hardcore on it. Let's hope I don't break this one. That's gonna be tight. Man, every single little problem I've run into today so far. Oh, what's up there, Woogie? I've been waiting for Woogie to show up, my dudes. If you don't already know, Woogie put out a sickening video today. You really should go watch it. Also, congratulations to the winner of Nitro Pimps Nitro. That was a job well done. Let me try this. got it. You see what it took? It took man-bear strength and heat and 2 broken tools. Well, 1 so far. Sick. That means I'm going to have to do the same equal amount of work to the rest of them. Appreciate you guys still watching. I don't even know what time it is right now. I'm basically working on nitro fumes. All right, let's give this one a go. All right. Got it. That's a hell yeah. By the way, bros, for those of you that I might not have told, I think a congratulations to the Lincoln LS passing its New York State inspection is in order. Can't believe the Lincoln LS actually passed. That was a major, major surprise. In fact, the repair station, bros, they looked at everything. The brakes, the lights. They checked my damn turn signals. You believe that? They checked the turn signals on a 2004 Lincoln LS V8, and it still passed. They thought they were going to get hybrid over here. Can't kill a Lincoln, especially with at least 147,000 original miles. That's obviously a sarcastic joke. All right, let's do the next one. All right, well, 50% of the way. 50% of the way. All right, let's do this one. Ugh, got it. All right, feels good. Feels good to not break a second tool in a row. Yeah, Rock Perry goes, who uses them turn signals? Dude, in New York City, there are so many different types of coppers. We have several divisions, right? There's even like the transportation agencies have their own cops. And you would think that, let's say, like a Port Authority type police guy can't stop you. What they do is they just call their buddies. They call their buddies and they try to ruin your life right there on the spot. I mean, truth be told, you really want to make sure that the cars that are on the road around you are safe. Let's say you have, like, old vehicles with bad brakes. Do you really want them to crash into your Toyota RAV4? You don't. Trust me, you don't. All right, last one. Oh, damn, you heard that crack? Whoa, that was a crack and a half. Very cracked. All right, we're going to take a look. Well, only one tool broken tonight, which is good. I had to go into my candy drawer. And then it wounds up nothing but bad coffee in there. You believe that? Well, let's get the front of the pipe off. I mean, I half embarrassed myself with that candy drawer. But I promise I have some other candy on the way. If somebody reminds me, I will show you the candy drawer next stream. I promise. All right. Got the engine out. Let's take a lookie. Yeah, lately, I mean, I've been driving around, been seeing a lot of old cars, mostly old cars involved in impacts, right? Because, like, let's face it, a lot of accidents happen from just basic distracted driving, right? Where if your car has, like, a front collision, safety system type of thing, you're not going to hit nobody. Okay. All right, so first thing, what do y'all want me to do? I think it was check the clutch, right? All right, let's check the clutch. Appreciate you guys still being here. And where is my clutch tool? I had a bit of a clutch tool. That metal, as the people in the UK call it. No, that's not them. Spanner is not what they call it. That's a wrench. All right, I'm just going to do one of these. Not very effective. No, that's pretty dangerous right there. There we go. But there we go. Got the clip out, although I don't recommend doing that. Traxxas does have a very good tool for doing that. All right, let's take a quickie look. PZ goes that got the same scissors. Yeah, dude, these are great scissors. These are sickening scissors right here. Made in Italy. Says Italy. Came in a box of pizzas. All right. So, I mean, the clutch appears. What I'll do, I'm just going to remove it. It's obviously one of those simple type of clutches. I mean, it's honestly real tight. The spring is not loose. Hey, Monty Kriska, how you doing? The spring is not loose at all. So I got no issues with the clutch on this. There's nothing I could say bad about the clutch. We're going to put this back in. Although it's possible. Okay, so the one thing I do find already, there's a lot of oil in it. And the other thing, let me show it to you in a second. Did anybody notice anything? I'm going to show you, clean my hands here first. Still pulling in the good numbers. I appreciate you guys chilling with me here tonight, supporting the channel, watching, being positive. It's nice. All right, so let me clean this up a little bit. First of all, let me look at the bottom of the engine. That is a crazy amount of fresh oil. Who knows? Maybe this has a front bearing leak. It ran okay, though, other than the idle issue. So let's investigate the rest of the engine as I have it out right here. You could see there's a good sign on the pipe with the oil being flung out. JP, yes, bro, I ran I ran it for a while, actually. It fired up. It just needed a very high idle. That's the weird part. Like, the idle has to be real high. I don't know why. Bleetzer goes, that's a thin flywheel. It's for sure not the correct flywheel. This is, I think, like one of those cheapo flywheels that you get in like those kits. What I will say is, notice the spring itself where it sits. You never want to have the spring come together directly next to the pin because, well, that's the worst position possible. So I'm probably going to redo this. I also noticed that it was inserted this way, but notice there's like a relief on the spring, on the clutch shoe. It probably should be positioned this way. Yeah, Max Paul goes, it might be a lightweight racing flywheel. It's possible. Let me check out the clutch itself. Yeah, a ton of oil in here, which is not very normal. But if it had like a main front bearing leak, although, you know, those bearings, they're not really meant to be totally sealed. There's some debate on it. Let me see. Is it possible that this one was also kind of having... No, I mean, it spins pretty free. I don't see any kind of friction. It's actually basically perfectly shimmed. Look at that. So I don't see any issue with the clutch. I'm going to install the clutch later on. I'm thinking there are a lot of washers right there that are pushing the flywheel out. I mean, I don't think that will do anything. Yeah, I'm going to read this from Max Paul. Max Paul says, engine could have a vacuum leak through the front bearing. I thought of that, and I'm glad you brought that up. But we can discuss it. We can discuss it. You guys saw at the end when I shut it down twice, I plugged the carb, right? And it shut down instantly. That leads me to believe that it's not sucking air through the front. You guys tell me if my assumption seems correct. I think it seems correct. Normally, if it was sucking air from here somewhere and you plugged it, it would still keep running. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I think it does. Let me clean the back. We could take a look inside, but I mean, the compression is real good. I honestly almost cannot spin it over. Like it's stuck like at the top all the time. Let me see. Like I just applied super strength. Cannot even spin it over. Yeah. Nitro Pimp goes likely the sleeve is bad. Well, let me think about this. Do you all want to see me disassemble this right now? It seems like it's a bad repinch, to be honest with you. Although it did fire up, and if it's a bad repinch, I think eventually it'll probably break itself in again. But like honestly, like with your normal strength, you should be able to spin over the flywheel. Yes, it should be difficult, but not that difficult. That was too difficult. All right, so what we'll do, hey Melissa, could I get a clean plate, please? Because like this plate is dirty. I just want to see if we can get a clean plate. Let me see what we can get happening here today. All right, so there's definitely no leak around the exhaust. Notice, oh, what the hell is that? We got ourselves what's known as an incorrect spring setup, a 2-in-1 design. Bad idea right there. Bad idea right there. You know what? I'm going to leave the exhaust on for now. What do we say? Take off the head or remove the back plate? I'm going to give you all an option. Back plate or head? By the way, I'm getting hungry. Yeah, Brian Conley, how you doing? He goes, what would be the sign it's a bad pinch? So I've pinched engines myself. I've also had repinches done professionally. Now, when I spin this over, I can tell at the top, like when the piston is at the top of the stroke right there, it seems very, very tight. Tighter than like a taper would be, right? Normally when you get a repinch, it's they use like a taper. So it's not a complete like 100% indentation like that in the sleeve. Now keep in mind, these are things you can't visually see. Big Boys Toys, you have a good night, bro. Take care, bro. I will talk to you next time. All right, let's take the head off for now because I don't know where my helper with the sleeve is. I mean with the tools I need. All right, let's take the head off. All right, so these use 2mm screws, so also really not awesome. Okay, so screw is good. Screw is good. All right, Nitro Pimp, you have a good luck, bro. I heard and I saw Nitro Pimp got some sickening new RCs, so I know we're all looking forward to seeing what those are. Knowing him, there's something sick. But of course, you know, I don't mind picking up junk either. Sometimes I was having this discussion with a buddy of mine, John Hensley here. You know, I recommended he pick up a brand new Slayer, and he told me very, very satisfied with the brand new Slayer. And yeah, pretty much a new Nitro is always great, but sometimes the pleasure, you know, and the joy of the work is real exciting when you pick up something that's kind of close to junk as well. Two different worlds, I would say. It's two different type of worlds. All right, so far all the screws are pretty tight, and they were in there good. All right, last screw. Notice we got 6 screws on this one. So somebody's not getting screwed today. All right. Wonderbread goes, it's like a FS Racing. Well, I'll tell you this. You don't want a new FS Racing. You don't want an old FS Racing. You want to stay away from anything with FS in it. Because guess what? FS means it's going to be for sale real soon. Get it? For sale. That is what you call a high IQ joke. All right, let's take a look at it. I'll be honest with you guys. My experience with the FS was basically based on one car, so let's not go too crazy. All right, glow plug looks normal and correct. It's not like a turbo plug or anything. The head looks normal. Nothing seems weird or missing. All right, we got the sleeve. Let's take a look over it. I mean, honestly, I don't notice anything crazy on it. All right, so as I move it to the top, oh yeah, crazy. I can't even get this thing to spin past. I get stuck there easily. I don't notice anything obviously wrong. So it's a regular, these are just regular 3-ports, but the ports that these 3-port engines have are massive, right? So not everything is about ports. Sometimes people want more ports, and that's good. But, you know, when you have 3, the ports are bigger. But it's really, really tight, like all the way at the top, all the way at the top dead center. Ugh. It's not supposed to be that tight. That's way too tight. Normally, when you're about this position right here, it should start to feel tight. But mine starts to feel tight only at the top. I don't think it's going to really be a problem in terms of like the idle speed, to be honest with you. But like I said, take a look at the carb. This is where I was at the idle to get it to run. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's some kind of mystery going on here. And I have not gotten down to the bottom of it so far. I'm going to look at the chat here. Let me see what you guys think. Yeah, this is like way too open. Yeah, Rock Perry, correct. Some of the fastest revving engines are the 3-ports. You are correct. I did a lot of research on ports, and Roar racing engines, the .12s, they're only allowed to have 3 ports. So let me see. Is it pushing the sleeve out? I mean, that's probably a little bit tight in there. So I can't even get this to... It seems like it's pushing it a little bit, but it's probably pinched in there, you know? If I got like a zip tie, like a good zip tie, I bet I can get it to come out. I don't have a good zip tie next to me right now. Oh no, hold on, I have one. I have a proper zip tie, but this probably needs to be removed. No, I can't do it. The exhaust needs to be removed. I'm thinking, what could be the fix for this? I could go ahead and just try maybe another carb. Maybe it's a carb issue. I don't know how, because the carb seems perfect to me. What do you guys think? Before I tear anything too crazy up, maybe just try another carb. Because there's literally, in my opinion, nothing obviously wrong visually with the sleeve. Let me zoom in even more so we can take a crazy look. Yeah, the ports are massive. You see that exhaust port? That's how they get that power. Nothing looks pitted. There's a good oil lining. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do, probably not disassemble it anymore. I'm going to probably try a different carb in this. So let me take this carb out, and I'll do a little bit of measurement. That P's plays goes, it's just too tight. It's very tight, but you know, the tightness would stop it at the top. That's why I had a hard time starting it, right? But like once it's running, I don't know how that would give me a high idle. I don't think so. Nitro racing power goes, it could be the piston. I can't visually see the piston right now. The thing is, I don't want to take the exhaust off because it's like a real janky spring over here. So what I'll do, I'm going to hunt for another carb. I'm thinking all these big block engines have the same carb size anyway. I don't have one right now, but I'm gonna locate something. But like, there's honestly nothing visually wrong with this carb. But like, you cannot have an idle like that. That's ridiculous. Basically, you're just gonna be sucking fuel the whole time. All right. I also looked at the boost port. Now with the carb out, we could see the area of the boost port. I mean, there's nothing crazy looking here either really. Pinch bolt looks normal. Boost, I checked. This fuel line is not crooked. There's no holes in it. This is the back of the boost port. All right, let's take a look at the bottom of the head. Good recommendation there from Rock Perry. We said the head could be bad. All right, so Not the best looking head. This actually does look like a signs of pre-detonation. No, detonation. Let me clean it a little bit. No, I mean, it's not massive pitted. That looks okay. I mean, it's not missing a shim or nothing. It looks normal. The shim is there. The plug is okay. I mean, it's definitely the correct plug. Just obviously, I ran it very rich, as you saw. I don't see any obvious signs of issues with this. Canon stuff goes, the O-ring on his boost port was old and super hard. Let me ask you, Canon stuff, on this portion of the boost port. I mean, it looks well sealed. Like, there's nothing crazy wrong here. You know? I mean, what I could do... I mean, we're going to have to be at an impasse right now. I think the next solution will be to simply test another carb. Let me try this out. So I have an old force carb. I don't really want to stick a force carb into an OS. That might be blasphemy. What do you guys think? This is blasphemy? I don't even believe in words like that. While I have it here, I can give it a little chance. This is just a little bit of a test. I'm just doing a little bit of a size comparison. We'll just see if it's the same. This is like, let's see, I forgot why even. Yeah, this engine is pretty good. I don't know why I even have this out right here. It's just so ugly I didn't run it or anything. All right, we could try this. Ah, damn it. Damn it, it's stuck. All right, I got to bang this out. Let me bang this a little bit. Banging never stops. I was watching a great movie last night. Damn it. But that movie didn't have a stuck carb. Ugh. All right, I'm going to discontinue this journey, and I'm going to find another carb somewhere. I do have another carb that I think will fit. Let me go take a look. This is sick. You know what? I'm thinking a forced carb might not work. I need to measure this with calipers. I don't know where my calipers are. Anyways, movie I was watching, Flight of the Phoenix from 1960. I think it was 1967, Flight of the Phoenix. It's about a down airplane and some bad decision making, but most of them survived. All right, bros, I'm going to probably discontinue this because I'll be honest with you, looking for all the carb is not going to be easy. The reason is the thickness of this carb isolator right here. I think that adds to the overall thickness, obviously. So I'm going to look this over. I'll be back with it. But I think for now, we confirmed it runs. There's obviously some issues with that. Guys, I'm going to be here for like 2 more minutes. I'm real hungry, by the way. So I'm going to have to go pick up some grub, likely at Taco Bell tonight. They have a new food item I'm going to have to get. Bleacher goes, check the pinch. Well, I mean, I pretty much already know, that it gets stuck at the top like crazy. But with like normal use, it will be okay. So I'm thinking if I can figure out whether it's a carb issue later on, I'll be able to do a little more troubleshooting. You know what I mean? All right, bros. I appreciate all your comments, your help, and your viewership. Rock Perry goes, can't kill it. It'll be back. It's a Nitro. Well said, man. This was, I think at best, we've confirmed that it runs. And it's just going to be a matter of troubleshooting and problem solving. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to get more in-depth than that. Like, is it going to run 100%? It'll probably be 80%. And that's fine with me. Ray Coral, bro, thank you, man. Melissa and I, we're going to hit the road. Hopefully, price of gas did not go up. Because it seems to be going up 10 cents a day lately. And the matter in the Strait of Hormuz seems to be getting worse. It's literally like playing the game Risk. You all remember Risk? The game of world empire domination? It's kind of like that, except it hurts us all in the pockets. All right, bro. Wonder Bread, everybody. Thank you all. I will be back with you sooner or later. And don't forget, a used Nitro is just as fun as a new Nitro. But of course, you need to have more than one of each. AMP, all of you, JP, Michael Sucha, thank you guys. WBL, we're going to be back again sooner or later. Have a good night.